Hi guys, and welcome again to the tutorial for beginners. In this video I will introduce you to the commands of the Modify section. It is very important to learn how to use most of these commands from the beginning. This not only helps you to modify objects, but also to save time when you are drawing. Another thing, when you activate a command of the section Modify, the pointer changes to this shape. Okay, I'm going to start with the most basic commands. They are move, copy and rotate. I will start with the command move. It's very simple. So I will type M or click in the button over there. I will select the objects, press enter. Now I will pick a point, this one for example, and now I click again to put the object in the new position. This time I will move it 500 to the right of the endpoint. Now I will show you the command copy. This time I will type CO or copy. It works as the same way as the command move, the only difference is that it keeps the original objects. This time I will choose this base point and I can copy the objects to where I want. So I will copy them to a distance of 500 to the left. Now I will show you another and very useful way of the copy command. So we will activate the command again, select all the objects, press enter and select the base point. Now, if you look to the command bar, it says specify second point or array. So I will type A to activate that, and here I have to enter the number of items to array. I will put 5. Okay, so you can see on the screen that we will have 5 items displayed in a row. And, this is very important, with the same distance between each other. I will specify 2000 for the distance. Okay, finally I'm going to show you the command rotate. So we are going to type RO or rotate. I select the objects and press enter. I'm going to specify a base point, for example this. I can rotate a figure around that point. So I can click somewhere, for example here. Now imagine that we want to rotate a figure to the position that it was before. So if we do the same process, now we pick a point, our reference line will not be horizontal this time, and when we place the object it will not be with precision. This means that we have to use a different way. Okay, we are going to repeat all the process again. And when we have to specify the base point, we are going to type R for reference. So I will pick 2 points for specifying a reference line. The first one will be this, and the second this another. So with this way, I can rotate around this line. And to make it horizontal, just use the polar mode. For example, now it says polar, I can click. As you see, the figure is finally straight. Okay, now I am going to show you a command that I consider very useful. It's offset. The icon is located in this place here. And it's used to create parallel lines and curves, and also concentric circles. I will show you an example with this polyline. Here I want to create an internal polyline with this distance specified as 150. I click on the icon and I will insert 150 for the specified distance. I click on the object and now I click here to offset to the inner side. So here it is. Now I have this line and I want to make multiple parallel lines. I will type O for offset and this time I will specify distance of 200, for example. I click on the line, and now I'm going to type M for multiple. So, with this, I am able to draw parallel lines with a distance of 200 from each other. Now I want to show you the option through in the offset command. I will type O again. Now, instead of typing the distance, I can type through. And with this I can place the parallel line where I want. So I will place the line using some object snap points as my reference. For example, this endpoint. I will also do it where is the top of this window and at the top of the wall. Here. Now that you know how to use offset, you can try it and practice. Now we have an example of offset for an ellipse and an arc. If we have a complex polyline with arcs included, it also works. Now, if we have the same figure but split it in lines and arcs, the offset will be separately. And this is what happens. So if you want it like before, you need to convert the lines to only one polyline. And to learn how to do it, you can click on this link. In this section, I will explain you how to trim objects. So, I have drawn these three parallel lines and also these two that intersect the others. I want to cut off these sections, and I will do it with the command trim, which I have it there. I will click on the icon, and then I select the objects and type enter. Finally, I click on the parts I want to remove. So, as you may understood, this tool cuts any section between intersections. Now, imagine if I want to cut off all these parts of the parallel lines. I activate trim again, and this time I will only select this line and the three parallel lines. As I have left the diagonal one unselected, it will delete everything to the left from the vertical line. Here it is. Okay, so now I am going to show you the command extend. You can find it clicking on the arrow on the right side of the trim command. So, this is useful when we want to extend lines towards another object. I am going to extend the horizontal lines till the diagonal line. I will select all. I click enter. And then I click on the lines I want to extend. So it's done. As you could see, the commands trim and extend are not difficult to use. Next part, I will explain you the command mirror. It's very simple and I will show you how it works. For example, I want to mirror this figure. Then I create a virtual mirror. And finally, the object will be copied symmetrically. Now I will explain the process slowly. To activate the command, I can type MI or mirror or click in the button at the Modify section. I'm going to select the objects and press enter. Now I have to specify the mirror line. But I want the new figure to be at a distance of 100 from the current one. So, from the endpoint, I drag to the right, I type 50 and press enter. So, I have specified here the first point of the mirror line. Now I need the second point in order to make a vertical line. Also, the length of the mirror line doesn't matter, only the direction. I click, and here I press enter again to remain the source objects. Another thing, before I specified 50 for the distance from the objects to the mirror line. With that, I can have the total distance of 100. Now I want to show you another useful situation to use mirror. If we need to create a symmetric figure, we can just draw half of it. And when I have to place the mirror line, I will draw it exactly where is this endpoint. I move up, click here, and it's done. So if you need to make very complex symmetric drawings, you can save a lot of time doing this way. One last thing on this video. We can also draw the mirror line in a different position, of course. I will make a horizontal line from this endpoint. And the objects are now mirrored in this different way. So it's also possible to draw diagonal mirror lines. And I had the polar mode turned on to make sure my mirror lines were vertical or horizontal. Now I want to explain you the commands fillet and chamfer, which can be used to modify corners, as you can see here. So the command fillet will change the corner to an arc, which I specify typing the radius. The command chamfer will change the corner to a line, which in this case I specify typing the distances from the corner to the intersection. So I will start with the command fillet. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle with the command line, and I will specify the dimensions as 100 per 50. Okay, once I finish, I click on the command fillet, which I can find it over there. Okay, so I will try to convert to an arc this corner. I select this line, and when I select the second line, I realize that no arc was created. This usually happens when I'm using the command for the first time, as the radius is by default 0. Okay, we are going to repeat the process again. I click on fillet. Now, if I look to the command bar, I can see all these options. So, I type R for radius. So now I will enter a radius, for example 10. I'm going to choose the lines again. And as you see, I have put in this corner an arc of radius 10. Now I will apply fillet to the other corners. I press enter to activate the command again. Now I select this line and this another, and an arc was created with the same radius. Now I will apply to the corner below, but this time I want to change the radius to 20. I type R and enter 20. Now I select the lines and it's done. In the next part, I will show you how to apply fillet to polylines. So I am drawing the same figure, but this time as a polyline instead of lines. Now that I finish, I type F for fillet, and this time I will enter P for polyline. I enter 10 for the radius, and when I select, it creates arcs for all the corners except this one where I started and finished the polyline. If I want to apply to all the corners in one polyline, I have to type CL to close it. Doing this is like the polyline doesn't have a start and an end point, so the polyline will continue also in this corner. I will use fillet again, and you can see that it's now applied for all the corners. Now I want to show you how to use fillet keeping the original corner. I activate the command again, and this time I will type T. As you see, I can switch between trim and no trim. I choose no trim, and when I select the objects, the original is not going to be deleted. If I want to use fillet in several corners in one time, I activate fillet and then I type M for multiple, and I'm able to do the operation for several corners without need to activate the command again. I'm going to show you how to use the command chamfer. It works as the same way as fillet, but the corner will be changed to a line. I will click on the arrow next to the icon fillet and choose chamfer here. Then I will type D for distance. Now, for the distance 1, I will put 10, and for the distance 2, 20, for example. I press enter. Now, for the distance 1 that I put 10, I will choose this line, and for the distance 2, this line here. So, this is how the command chamfer works. Also, like the command fillet, the options trim, multiple and polyline can be used with chamfer. How to use the command scale to change the size of an object. Basically, this is used to increase or decrease the size of a drawing. I recommend you to not use this command for printing purposes. It's better to draw always in a scale 1:1. However, if you need to scale a drawing in order to print it, you can check it in the link above. Okay, to change the scale of a drawing, I will click on the icon in the Modify section, or alternatively, I can type Scale or SC. Now I select the objects I want to scale and press Enter. Then I select the base point, and when I drag the pointer, I realize the rectangle is getting too large. As you see here, at the moment it's using a factor of 35. It means that if I click here, the size of the object will increase 35 times, and without any precision. Due to that, I will insert the scale factor. Okay, going back, I will set it as 2, and the line sizes will change to the double. Now I will type the command distance or di, so I can measure this line. And as you see, the length has changed to 200. Another thing, if this dimension doesn't appear in your workspace, you have to switch on this button that says Dynamic Input, or also press F12. If instead I want to scale my drawing to a smaller size, I have to insert for the scale factor a value under 1. For example, if I insert 0.5, the lines will be shrinked to its half. Now, imagine that I want to change the scale in order to have this line as 135. So I will type the command again. I select everything. Then I choose the base point. Now, if you look to the command bar, there is an option called reference. So I will type ref or R. With this, I will choose 2 points and type the new distance between them that I want. So I choose this as a first point and this as the second point. Now I want this distance to be 350. So it's done, and those are my new distances. Now I will show you another case to use reference with scale, but this time I don't know the distance. I just want the length of this door to be exactly as displacement in order to fit there. Okay, I will do the same procedure as before. I will choose now the base point. Now I will type reference. Like before, I choose the 2 points of my reference. Here it is. Now, instead of typing the distance, I type P for points, and then I choose these 2 points because I want to fit the door here. Okay, now these 2 distances are the same. Finally, I just need to move my door there, and it will fit exactly in that place. So, here it is. The last method in this video, I will explain how to stretch this figure to convert into this one, and for that I will use the command stretch. I will type S, or you can also find it in the Modify panel there, and I press Enter. Now I have to select the lines I want to extend and also the end section on the right. But I have to keep these lines unselected because I don't want to move them. After clicking Enter, I will pick this point. And as you see, I can extend the lines. I'm going to type with the keyboard the length that I want to extend. So it's done. Now, if for the same figure I select all the lines except this first one, I will move also the second vertical line. Another case, if instead I choose all my figure, this will be moving all the object, and the stretch will not have its proper effect. Okay, this is everything for now. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe the channel to get access to the full list of tutorials of AutoCAD. And I want to tell you that these lessons are also available split in shorter videos if you prefer. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.